What's up, guys? The third Saturday in October, and it's Alabama who's victorious, beating Tennessee 34-20. Welcome in to the SEC Wrap-Up Show. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Gagnon, Drew Baller, Bailey Burmaster, and Rennie Current had the night off, just like Georgia. Looks like Alabama might be the real deal. Yes, I really do believe they are. Saban's smoking the cigar tonight, Drew.
Yeah, an unbelievable win for Alabama.
And I hate to say a tale of two halves, but this one truly a tale of two halves. I got to say, Alabama's defense, I know we're going to talk about the quarterback, but Alabama's defense looking better and better every single week. Yeah, you know, we can't talk about this day without talking about the biggest game of the day. It's the third Saturday in October, and you know what that means. The Vols in Tuscaloosa, where Alabama was looking to avenge last year's loss in Knoxville. It's a game you only saw here on CBS. Tennessee off to a hot start late second quarter. Joe Milton drops it in to McClellan Castles for the 6-yard score, 20-7 Vols. Bama storms back late third. Jace McClellan, 5-yard touchdown run, puts Bama up 24-20. Then the big play of the game right here. Fourth quarter, Milton hit, fumbles. Campbell scoops it up and takes it 24 yards for the score. You'll have to believe me on that one. Bama wins big. Jace McClellan, he's the player of the game. He ends the day with 115 yards rushing and the go-ahead touchdown for Alabama. I got to ask you first, who needed this win more between the two teams, Tennessee or Alabama?
You know, it's interesting. That's a great question.
Saban at halftime, I'm sure he had a pretty good speech for his players. What do you think it was like during the half in that locker room, and what adjustments were made for Alabama to turn things around completely?
Yeah, the defense held them in there. I mean, Tennessee was 1 of 4 in the red zone.
A quick look at the SEC standings. Alabama, #1 in the West. Georgia, #1 in the East. Need I say more? LSU's right behind Alabama. They play each other in 2 weeks. And you got Mizzou right behind Georgia playing each other in 2 weeks. So if you ask me, those are the 2 big games left right there on the SEC schedule. Ahead on the SEC Wrap-Up Show, the tides of college football are shifting. Could we see a college football playoff with 0 SEC teams? Drew has the answer when he goes on the clock. All right, guys, the Dawgs are on their bye last Saturday. They got a big win at Vanderbilt, but they left the game in bad shape. Coach Smart updated us on a long list of injuries earlier this week. Senior offensive lineman Xavier Truss, a starter, didn't practice earlier this week after tweaking his ankle. He left the Vandy game, never came back. Smart expects Truss to take some reps come Monday. Kirby also said he feels good about running back Kendall Milton after he re-aggravated his MCL last Saturday. Offensive tackle Amarius Mims is back to bearing weight on his ankle following surgery in September, but he's still not medically cleared to practice. Then the big one, the one you probably don't want to hear about. Brock Bowers had tightrope surgery Monday to repair a high ankle sprain suffered at Vandy. Coach Smart hasn't given us an official timeline, but multiple outlets have reported the superstar tight end will likely miss 4 to 6 weeks. And listen, earlier this week, Kirby Smart said that it won't be Delp's role that will be changing, so that sounds like Lawson Lucky's role might be changing to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Lawson Lucky had the tightrope procedure on his ankle as well, which is fascinating because back when I played, if you got a high ankle sprain, you just started rehab. No surgery, no procedure. So it would tell me that Brock Bowers getting this procedure means that if the team's playing well and he feels good, hopefully in 4 to 6, he'll be back on the field for Georgia.
All right, Drew, it's time to go on the clock. I hope you're ready for this one. You guys know the drill. The two of us have a list of topics to run through. Drew has no idea what's coming, so we'll get his raw reaction. Topic number 1, Drew, according to ESPN's playoff predictor, the top 4 teams with the best chance to make the playoff entering today: Oklahoma, Ohio State, FSU, Washington. With OSU's win, you know what, is there a real chance that no SEC teams make it?
You know, I can tell you right now, the College Football Playoff Committee not happy with that playoff predictor.
I think there will be one. All right, Michigan football is under an NCAA investigation after allegations surfaced of an elaborate sign-stealing system. If found guilty, should Michigan be penalized before the college football playoff?
Let me just say one thing. Every single team in college football steals signs. I mean, that is a known fact. However,
I don't think this team has an identity yet. I mean, I truly don't think they do after 7 games. Next topic. Several media outlets and medical experts have reported a postseason return still in the cards for Brock Bowers. But with the NFL draft just months away, should he play again in a Georgia uniform if he can?
I think a lot of that's going to depend on how Georgia plays without him.
Oh, he's going to play. If he can come back and play, I'm answering for him because I've covered him for 3 years now. I have not met another guy who likes playing football as much as him. He doesn't even want to talk to the media. He just wants to play football.
Right.
All right, the Dogs are entering their toughest stretch of the season. Tennessee and possibly Alabama still to come for the Dogs. Here's their next 4 games that I'm looking at. Florida, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and we don't really have to mention Georgia Tech. I know, that's awful, isn't it? When you take a look at that schedule, what are you most concerned with?
I can tell you right now, Kirby Smart is not overlooking Florida and Georgia Tech. Nothing else to say there.
No comments. Yeah, absolutely. When I take a look at their next 4 all-SEC matchups, you know, the one that might make me the most nervous could be Ole Miss or at Tennessee because of the atmosphere.
No doubt.
All right, we'll be right back with much more of the SEC Wrap-Up Show. All right, guys, every team faces adversity. What matters is how you battle back. That was Coach Smart's message to his team after losing All-American tight end Brock Bowers on Tuesday. He told the media he doesn't have a Superman on his roster. In fact, he doesn't want one. Next week, it's Florida, Georgia here on Atlanta News First, 3:30 kick. Yes, Drew, I said Florida, Georgia. You didn't like that, did you?
It's Georgia, Florida. Everybody obviously knows that.
What's up, guys? Georgia Tech has been up and down this season. The Yellow Jackets had a bye last week, coming off a huge road win at Miami. They were looking to build off the momentum of that win in South Florida back here in the A, hosting Boston College this afternoon. Mascot dance-off to get this started. Tech quarterback Haynes King dancing with the wrong team. BC's Amari Jackson picks him off, takes it 30 yards for the pick 6. Boston College with the 10-7 lead. Third quarter, King says forget trying to throw it. He takes it to the ground. He runs 71 yards straight to the house. Game tied up at 17 apiece, but it goes south from here. At least he had this one good moment. Fourth quarter we go. Boston College gets the run game going. QB Thomas Castellanos takes it 43 yards for the score. 31-23 BC. Tech gave up over 300 yards rushing, most of those in the second half. King trying to make a play late in this one, but wouldn't you know it? Watch this. Picked off again. He threw 3 interceptions on the day. Tech falls 38-23. They also fall to 3-4 on the season.
That was the disappointing part, was the fourth quarter. And, you know, we got a lot of work to do. We got a long way to go with building this team the way that it can be built, the way that I know that it can be built, and the way that it is supposed to be done, right? So, you know, we gave up 300 yards rushing, and I think 150 of them were in the fourth quarter alone. So, you know, that comes back to a lot of reasons, which, you know, we'll address those, you know, fully tomorrow throughout the entire day.
No doubt Tech struggles in the fourth quarter. Well, the #1 Dogs are on a bye this week. They're getting healthy ahead of a tough stretch to wrap up the season. They'll be in Jacksonville next weekend for Florida, Georgia. The big SEC game of the day right here on CBS, Tennessee at Alabama. The Vols hung half 100 on the Tide last season. Bama didn't forget it. Tennessee off to a hot start. Late second quarter here, Joe Milton drops it in to McClellan Castles for the 6-yard score, 20-7 Vols. Bama storms back late third. Jace McClellan, 5-yard touchdown run. Alabama on top, 24-20. The big play seals it right here. Fourth quarter, Milton hit, fumbles. Campbell scoops it up, takes it 24 yards to the hizzy. Bama wins this one 34-20. Saban smoking that cigar tonight. Bama with a little payback after last year's game. Seems like the Tide could be the real deal. The Falcons with a big divisional game Sunday in Tampa against the Bucs. They're looking to bounce back from that tough loss at home in Week 6 against Washington. Tampa Bay has a half-a-game lead in the NFC South entering the 1 p.m. kick from Raymond James Stadium. Quarterback Desmond Ridder has never won a road game as the Falcons starter. He's 0-4 away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. He tossed 3 picks against the Commanders last Sunday. The turnovers are killing the Falcons this season. Ridder says it wasn't his best performance. He seems to have a good understanding of what went wrong and what he can do to fix it.
Just trying to do too much, trying to think, you know, one step ahead. Obviously, as a quarterback, that's obviously what you try to do all the time, but sometimes that just gets you in trouble. Instead of just playing what they give you, play what they see, like I say all the time. Sometimes I just give what, or I just take what the defense gives me. And a lot of times, you know, that's going to lead to success. And like I said, I just thought I saw something that it wasn't. It ended up being something that, you know, it wasn't, and it ended wrong.
Georgia State off to its best start in program history at 5-1. The Panthers on the road at Louisiana tonight. They're up 20-17 late in the fourth quarter. We're right back.